What is the end of time? 1 billion years later, the brightness of the sun will increase by 10%. Earth will become the second Mars in 5 billion years. The hydrogen inside the sun is depleted. The hole began to expand into a red giant. Everything within the orbit of Mars will be swallowed 6 billion years. Only a white dwarf river remains in the central region of the sun, which has turned into a planetary nebula. Once upon a time, the 8 planets of the solar system, now only the outermost 7 state giant stars remain. 100 trillion years later, all the stars in the universe will go out. All black holes evaporate. Newborn nebulae are no longer strong enough to collapse into new stars. The entire universe is eerily dark and cold. The heat that originated in the moment of the Big Bang is completely eliminated at this moment. The white dwarf that once illuminated the universe in its final moments is also gradually cooling, became a dark star that does not shine. But the universe's expansion is still accelerating, driven by dark energy. The density of the remaining material is constantly increasing after the Great Wall of the universe broke. Galaxies falling apart. Eventually, all the atoms in the universe will be torn apart. The injury increase will also reach the maximum. The entire universe would be wiped out, both thermodynamically and physically. However, Hawking's former friends, Nobel laureate in physics Penrose believes that our universe is likely to be a continuous loop of space-time. The beginning of the Big Bang 1382 billion years ago was actually the end of the universe. And the universe won't keep accelerating. Some future moment, our universe will go from accelerating expansion to slowing expansion, then stop expanding, eventually begins to collapse under attractive forces. Then observed from the Earth, all the galaxies in the universe are approaching the Earth. The density of matter in the universe will also increase. Galaxies collide. Stars are born in large numbers. Last, all matter in the universe will be compressed to its starting state by the force of cosmic exploration. There will be another Big Bang. From the current observations, there are about 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, 4650 billion light-years from Earth. 98% of them are due to faster than light speeds away from Earth. Forever lost its causal relationship with the Earth, which means the light from those galaxies will never make it to Earth. But if the future universe starts to contract, and these galaxies will return to a meaningful state, and alien civilizations that may inhabit those galaxies will also become closer to Earth. When we search the universe with radio telescopes, there is a high probability of receiving a lot of radio signals. All of this is happening as the weeks get closer and closer, but on a time scale. Compared to Hengxing Dongji's lifespan of tens of billions of years, 10,000 years of history of individual human beings and even the entire human civilization, it's a snap of a finger. And the result is that we don't have time to see anything in the universe in our lifetimes. The Hubble and Scarf telescopes only saw the universe billions of years ago. Remnant images from billions of years ago will never see the real-time universe. In general, whether it is the end of time or the end of space, for us all outside the light cone, perhaps vacuum decay has begun somewhere in the universe at this moment. The entire universe is collapsing at the speed of light, but for human civilization, we only existed for a moment compared to the universe. In 1994, Jupiter had an unprecedented impact, equivalent to 6 trillion tons of TNT. July 16, 1994. A 5-kilometer-wide comet is torn apart by attractive forces near Jupiter, turned into a train of fragments, hitting the surface of Jupiter at 60 kilometers per second. More powerful than all the nuclear weapons on Earth at the time combined. But because Jupiter is a gaseous planet, so there was no crater. Only a dark spot larger than Earth appears above Jupiter's clouds. It didn't disappear until half a year later. This comet is Shoemaker-Levy 9, also known as SL9, because it was the first space impact in human history to be witnessed. And it's the kind predicted half a year in advance. So wait until it really hits. All observatories on Earth have their eyes turned to Jupiter. The Hubble telescope in space is also staring at Jupiter. Even the Voyager probe, billions of kilometers away, has pointed its detection device at Jupiter. Later data aggregation found that the first piece of debris in the train, also known as a fragment, when hitting Jupiter at 60 kilometers per second. Galileo's instruments were the first to record the appearance of the fireball. The temperature reached 23,700 degrees, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. In the next 6 days, there are 21 massive impact points on the surface of Jupiter. The largest fragment is the fragment G, a dark spot formed over 12,000 kilometers in diameter, exactly the same diameter as the Earth. In theory, this impact should have caused the clouds on Jupiter's surface to disperse like foam. Expose what's hidden underneath. This way, we can see deeper into Jupiter. However, maybe it is because of the Queen Mother of Jupiter's atmosphere. 60,000 a ton of TNT didn't make any waves. Astronomers only observed the aurora near the impact area. 15 years later, in 2009, an astronomy enthusiast, when observing Jupiter, I found a small dark spot on it. After reporting to NASA, astronomers started using professional infrared telescopes to look towards Jupiter and confirmed that it was the impact mark. It's an area the size of the Pacific Ocean, but the diameter of the culprit is only 300 or 500 meters. In just 15 years, the Liangqi impact was observed on Jupiter. For billions of years to come, past and future. Jupiter is the most massive planet in the solar system. I don't know how many asteroids and comets have been attracted. Without him, asteroid passes directly past Mars to Earth. Tragedies like the 65 million year extinction of dinosaurs may be repeated. Astronomers estimate that every 10,000 years or so, the Earth will be hit by an asteroid about 500 meters in diameter. But let's be honest, asteroids around 500 meters are not a big threat, because he can be easily detected in advance, even without considering nuclear weapons. Hit the asteroid with the most basic satellite, can deflect his orbit and let him fly past the Earth. Moreover, an asteroid with a diameter of 500 meters will start to burn when it enters the Earth's atmosphere. Once it reaches strength, it explodes and disintegrates into smaller pieces. It often burns out before it hits the ground. The 2013 asteroid in Chelyabinsk, Russia. In the end, only a few pieces were found in the ice lake. Most of the body vaporized in the explosion. Asteroids aren't always made of metal, after all. Most of them are still stones. Mysterious radio rings in the universe. Up to 3 million light years. Could it be an alien surname? In 2019, the Square Kilometre Radio Astronomy Observatory Array located in Australia, a radial circle 1 million light years in diameter, discovered for the first time in the deep universe. Referred to as ORC as of now, astronomers have discovered 6 similar structures in the universe. The longest diameter is 3 million light years, equivalent to a dozen galaxies. What can be confirmed so far is that they are invisible in the visible light band. Only radio telescopes can see them. If you have to describe, their appearance resembles the traces of an ultra-clear new outbreak. That's a ring or a ball. Since they were first discovered in 2019. So astronomers don't know how they form. Just know they are big. can be detected in the radio band. It feels like a cosmic star. Some astronomers even think it's like a pulsar, or part of the cosmic navigation system of an advanced alien civilization. There is another argument that the appearance of ORC is closely related to the massive black holes in galaxies. For example, the space-time oscillations caused by the collision of black holes. After superimposing the influence of suction disk substances, it's getting bigger and bigger, from high energy to visible light. It decays into electromagnetic waves or works, possibly caused by active star formation. Electromagnetic storms released during star formation. New astronomical phenomena similar to ORC and the fast telegraph first discovered in 2007. FRBs for short, they are extremely energetic. Also decays extremely quickly. It only takes a few milliseconds for the burst to disappear. Current theories suggest that they originated from collisions between black holes and neutron stars, or the explosion of a female star in the universe. Of course, there are also claims of alien civilizations. It is believed that fast telegraphy is a special signal sent by alien civilizations in the universe. Only a civilization with the same level of technology can decipher. When many new cosmic phenomena in history were first discovered, people will compare alien civilizations for the first time, such as microwave background radiation, pulsars and neutron stars, and now ORC and FRB. But in the end, it often backfires. It's all natural, rather than a signal of intelligent civilization. Later, the electromagnetic waves we ourselves emitted into the universe, like the Arecibo message, Hawking information. It's only a few dozen light years away, although Voyager 1 and 2 carried information about the location of the Earth. But it still takes 30,000 years to fly out of the solar system. It is almost impossible to encounter an alien civilization. Therefore, in the future that can be met, unless an alien civilization takes the initiative to fly near the solar system. Otherwise, we would still be the only intelligent civilization in the known universe. If the speed of light is really the upper limit of the speed in the universe, if no technology can exceed the speed of light, it doesn't matter whether alien civilizations exist or not. Because the speed of light cannot be exceeded, it means that no intelligent civilization can populate the entire galaxy. At most, it is only a few dozen stars around. That translates to a region of time and space several hundred light years away. And the Milky Way has at least 100 billion stars. There may be dozens of scattered alien civilizations among them. It is entirely possible to be isolated from each other. For us on Earth in the solar system, only planets that have fully developed their solar system, it may take tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years. And then Proxima Centauri, 4 light years away, farther Barnard's star. A series of operations will not be enough for millions of years. Could civilization last for millions of years? That's a problem in itself. Scientists believe that the universe will end in 22 billion years. The Earth will disintegrate in the last few minutes. In the last second, all the atoms in the universe will also disintegrate. This is the end of the universe, known as the Big Rip. And it happens because our universe is accelerating its expansion. Back in the 1920s, Hubble discovered the galaxy Hongyi phenomenon, proving that the vast majority of galaxies in the universe are moving away from Earth. More than half a century later, astronomers have discovered that the expansion of the universe is an acceleration. Galaxies farther from Earth, the faster it moves away from the Earth, where 1450 billion light-years is a dividing line. Galaxies beyond this distance, away from the Earth faster than the speed of light, lost contact with the Earth forever. 2 trillion galaxies currently observable. 98% have exceeded this distance. It can be said that the Earth is being isolated by the galaxies of the universe. Investigate the reason. Is that all the galaxies we see make up only 5% of the universe. What's left is 20% dark matter and 75% dark energy. And dark energy is responsible for the accelerating expansion of the universe. He completely outweighs the attractive force on a large scale. Let the density of matter in the universe get lower and lower. If the current acceleration continues, 2180 billion years later, the celestial system represented by the Raniakaya supercluster will begin to disintegrate into smaller systems. In 140 million years, the forces of the universe's expansion will be transmitted on a scale of 100,000 light years. The Milky Way and Andromeda will begin to disintegrate. There are no galaxies in the universe at this time. Only one star remains in the first 3 months. The repulsive force of the expansion of the universe will act on the scale of light years. The solar system, 2 light years across, will fall apart. The distance between the Earth and the Sun will become farther and farther. A few minutes before the Big Tear, the forces of cosmic expansion will act on planets. The repulsion of space will be greater than the combined energy of the Earth, cause the Earth to be torn apart, while the forces of cosmic expansion continue to extend, all the way until the Big Tear, the last Planck time. That's 10 to the power 19 seedlings. All the atoms in the universe will be torn apart, and the universe would be a soup of elementary particles. Atoms and molecules are gone. All celestial bodies and galaxies and black holes don't exist either. However, all of these scenarios are based on the fact that dark energy accounts for the majority of the total intelligence in the universe. If it is found in the future that the proportion of energy is not so high, the universe may go from accelerating expansion to slowing expansion. Then it stops expanding. It might even start to contract. Nobel physicist Robert Penrose believes that the universe may be a cyclic state. In other words, the universe could go from expansion to collapse at some point in the future. It gets denser and denser. Eventually, all galaxies will come together, become a new starting point, and then another Big Bang. Create a new universe. This cyclic universe theory is currently supported by no actual evidence. But it's also a kind of cosmological model. After all, the Big Bang theory only answers the question of the origin of the universe. It doesn't tell us how the universe will end. In the future, we can meet. With the advent of more advanced astronomical exploration equipment, changes in the expansion rate of the universe will be recorded in greater detail, although what we see is destined to be just a fleeting slice of the universe. But from this moment on, we might be able to see trends in the universe, solve more mysteries. At 600 kilometers per second, our galaxy is hurtling through space. Where is he taking us? In the 1970s, astronomers discovered on the cosmic microwave background radiation map, stars on either side of the galaxy have a velocity difference of hundreds of kilometers per second. This means that deep in the universe we can't see, there is an attractive force pulling the galaxy closer. Scientists call this unknown attractive force the giant shadow. He's like a monster lurking in the depths of the universe. Although we can't see him directly, but he can influence the galaxy. At present, the only radio telescope that can sense the presence of the giant shadow through the attractive force belt of the Milky Way is the radio telescope. For example, the 500-meter aperture spherical radio telescope deep in the mountains of Guizhou in our country is fast. He's able to gather information about actors outside of the visible light spectrum, and it was also determined that he was part of the Raniakaya supercluster. As the superior of the galaxy, the Raniakaya supercluster contains 100,000 galaxies, 520 million light-years in diameter, even in the observable universe, 93 billion light-years in diameter. It is also a presence that cannot be ignored. The Milky Way is just a grain of sand in it. The Sun is another grain of sand in the Milky Way galaxy. The Earth and us on it are even smaller. Not even dust. On a scale of 10 billion light-years. At the center of the Raniakaya supercluster is the littlest supercluster. That's what we call a filmmaker. It's 1,000 trillion times the mass of the Sun, 20 million light-years from Earth. although he is bringing the Milky Way closer at 600 kilometers per second. But the Milky Way will never reach the Shadow Man, because our universe is accelerating. The more extensive the system, the stronger the expansion pull. Whether it's the Laniakea supercluster or the filmmakers, they will all be torn apart by the forces of cosmic expansion in the future, into smaller celestial systems. At the same level as the Laniakea ultra-clear new group, there is also the Peacock Indian ultra-clear group, and the Hydra Centauri supercluster. They are shaped like a few feathers in the universe. It is also connected to the Great Wall of the universe, ripped apart by the void, and it forms a network of cosmic fibers. For current human civilization, the Laniakea supercluster is the largest cosmic system. Although the observable universe is ultimately only a part of the real universe. But considering that the total amount of matter in the universe cannot increase, so astronomers think, we want to see that the distribution of galaxies in the universe is the same as in the observable universe, moving billions of light years into the universe. Even the speed of light is just a destination, and the fastest spacecraft currently available can't even reach 1% of the speed of light. The radius of the solar system is at least 1 light year. Voyager 1 will take 30,000 years to leave the solar system. These are the facts. It means that human civilization will only be able to operate in the solar system for a long time in the future. Even on Earth, activity between the Moon and Mars, as a civilization only at level 0.73, it will take at least 300 or 500 years to become a true first-level civilization. Start exploring the entire solar system, from the Earth to the solar system, from the solar system to the Milky Way. The vastness of the universe is beyond our imagination. The Hubble telescope and the Scarf telescope studied its life. You see a slice of the universe. Just a moment. Astronomers have discovered a star called Shengxiuji that is in the final stages of its life. A superstar could explode at any time. It will be brighter than the full moon in Earth's night sky. It's visible during the day. If all this happens, then there is basically no need to turn on the lights at night. The high brightness of Shengshu Temple will last for at least half a year. Could save us a fortune on our electricity bill. From an astronomical perspective, Shengshu Temple is now 640 light years from Earth. It's a red supergiant. The radius is more than 1,000 times that of the Sun. If you swap it with the Sun, the 4 terrestrial planets in the solar system will be swallowed up. Jupiter will become the closest planet to its star, but at a volume far greater than 1,000 times that of the Sun. The mass of Shengshu Temple is actually only 20 times that of the Sun. This means that his material density is very low. After the internal hydrogen is exhausted, the shell has begun to expand under the pressure of radiation. At this time, the inside of the deep rust silk has become a huge change. As time goes by, the carbon converges to make heavier carbon. The buildup of carbon causes the rusty core to heat up. Eventually, the entire core collapses under a single pressure. Then there was a violent explosion. The amount of energy released in a few seconds is equivalent to the sum of the past few billion years. The brightness of the star will also become the first in the Milky Way in a few seconds. Over the past few years, the brightness of Shengshu Temple was monitored to have undergone multiple changes, and part of the shell has been thrown out. Given the 640-year time difference between him and Earth, some astronomers think it may have exploded. Only we won't see it until 640 years later. That's another way of saying that. If a bright star suddenly appeared in the sky in the next second, then it means that Shengshu Temple exploded as early as the Ming Dynasty. We just saw it now. Conservative estimate. After the explosion of Shengshu Temple, the brightness can reach 3 times that of the full moon. In the absence of clouds, This brightness can completely replace street lighting. And here's the thing. Shengshu Temple is also located near the celestial equator. The whole Earth can be illuminated by him. The official nemesis in history was a superstar explosion that occurred in the Northern Song Dynasty. At that time, readers did not need to order at night. Lights can read books. Today's Crab Nebula was left behind by the superstar explosion. Therefore, after the future outbreak of Rust Temple, in addition to leaving a white dwarf or neutron center in the core region, it will also form a light-year remnant nebula. This nebula contains some heavy elements, often becomes the birthplace of the Heart Star. 60 billion years ago, the Sun was born in a similar nebula. Therefore, the Sun contains some elements. These elements later formed the Earth. Life evolved on Earth. So supernovae are an integral part of the evolution of life in the universe. He successfully dispersed the heavy elements in the cores of stars into the universe, provides the conditions for the birth of life. But our Sun doesn't go supernova, because its mass is too small. 5 billion years later, although the Sun will also expand into a red giant, but only one white dwarf can remain in the core region. Most of the star's material is pushed away from the core by radiation, eventually form a planetary impact nebula. In general, no matter when the Rust Temple erupts, its impact on the Earth is limited to lighting. Only superstars within 20 light-years explode. Radiation can harm life on Earth, but there are basically infrared stars 20 light-years from the Sun. They can live for hundreds of billions of years. There is absolutely no risk of a superstar eruption.